This is Martin at Willow Bend Pharmacy, and this week I'm going to be talking about the common cold. This is the time of year that I get many requests for recommendations and over-the-counter treatments to treat the common cold. The recommendations I make are based upon the stages of the cold that you're in, and there are 4 stages, non-scientific, that I call I classify people in when they come to me. Stage 1 is initial onset. The cold comes on typically with a sore throat, drainage and sneezing, differentiated from an allergy attack by the lack of watery eyes. Usually it's also the season as well. When people come to me with these symptoms, they may even have gone to the doctor first and done a strep test, and the doctor says, you don't have strep, you have a virus, go home, rest, and take fluids. They'll come to me, and my recommendation is typically a drying agent to dry out the secretions from the nose and something to soothe the throat. These can be home remedies like honey and tea, royal jelly, lozenges. Zinc gluconate is one of my favorite. Honey lozenges, Ricola lozenges, Hall's lozenges, and a first generation antihistamine like chlorpheniramine. The first generation antihistamines tend to be a lot more drying than the second generations like the Zyrtecs, the Allegras, and the Claritins. The first generation antihistamines are shorter acting, so you have to take them more often, but they're so much more effective that's my go-to choice. Things like Edahist is one of my favorite. It's about 4 milligrams of chlorpheniramine with a little bit of phenylephrine, about 10 milligrams. They'll give a decongestant effect and a drying effect. Benadryl is another first generation antihistamine, but it causes a lot of sedation. After stage 1, the cold tends to then move down after the sore throat and the drainage. Tends to kind of blow up into a full-blown, what we call a head cold. A lot of drainage, a lot of stuffiness. During that stage, I tend to recommend pseudoephedrine during the daytime and Afrin at night. Pseudoephedrine being the medication you have to sign for at the pharmacy counter because it's controlled. It's usually used in the production of meth, so you have to go to the pharmacy counter. There's limits on how much you can buy and how often you can buy it, but it is the best product for really opening you up and letting the stuff drain out. You can continue to take the drying agents to try to decrease the amount of production of the mucus. It's also very stimulating, so you don't want to take it at night, and I like the Afrin. Now, the Afrin is a nose spray, works really quick, but you should only use it for a maximum of 3 days, and I only use it in the evening. The dose is twice a day, but only use it in the evening because it can cause rebound congestion, which means when you quit using it, the congestion can come back twice as bad if you've been using it for more than 3 days. So after the sore throat and the head cold, all that mucus tends to drain down into the chest, and when that happens, I then tell people to use Mucinex. Plain Mucinex or the 12-hour Mucinex that comes in a liquid and film tabs. That's going to thin that mucus out and make it easier to cough up. When the mucus gets really thick, you can spend quite a lot of time and effort getting that out, coughing so much that you aggravate your sore throat again or even give yourself a pounding headache. And during any of this course of therapy, Tylenol is a good go-to reliever for body ache, mild fever that you may have from this viral attack. Stage 4 is kind of the after effect. That's when you don't quite feel healthy. You still may have a nagging cough. You still may have a little bit of a postnasal drip. But the worst of the cold is over. And once again, I just tell people to stick with one of these treatments. If it's in the chest, use Mucinex. If it's drainage, use an antihistamine. If you feel kind of achy, take Tylenol. A lot of people will try to go with high-dose vitamin C, airborne, that kind of thing. Those things might be kind of good to take when you're around somebody who has the flu or has a cold, to try to prevent from getting it, to try to bolster your immune system. And sometimes it'll shorten the cold by 1 or 2 days. I don't like multi-product cold formulas, products that have 2 and 3 and 4 products in them. Sometimes the doses are subtherapeutic, or I don't like the amount of Tylenol in there. It's not uncommon for people to overdose on Tylenol with multi-cold products. And many people can have health conditions, glaucoma, prostate conditions, or high blood pressure, which would eliminate certain of these medications. So you should always really consult a healthcare professional, and pharmacists are very accessible and more than happy to give you their recommendation, because you don't want to raise your blood pressure or mess up your prostate or mess up your vision or screw up your glaucoma treatment with the wrong product. The best way to avoid the cold is to avoid people. If that's not in your day-to-day life, then hand washing. And if you have a cold, make sure you cover your mouth when you're coughing, wash your hand a lot, and give people the old fist bump instead of the handshake. And we'll get through this together. As a final thing, when it comes to the cough, dextromethorphan is the only available over-the-counter cough remedy. It's not very effective, even at much higher doses, in my opinion. You're much better with just the decongestant, you're much better off drying up the congestion that's causing the cough or getting the phlegm out of your chest. But you're more than welcome to try those. Delsym is the main one that's out there. I just don't find it to be very effective by itself. So I'm Martin at Willow Bend Pharmacy. I hope you can get through this winter without getting a cold, but if you do and you need a recommendation, you can reach out to me. I'll be happy to answer your question. Thanks a lot and have a great day.